Right, so you want to know how to get more watch time in the upcoming year 2021 and beyond? Well, make sure to watch this whole video and you'll know a little trick that you can do in order to get more watch time on your videos and grow even more on your channel. So if there's anything helps, don't hesitate to leave a like on this video, I mean it. But with that said, let's do this. So first thing you want to do is open up your YouTube studio. So I'm just going to do that real quick. You probably know where to go to find your YouTube studio. And now before we do anything more, I just want to say a few simple stuff regarding that, how you can get more watch time in general. So the basic idea of getting more watch time on YouTube is that you want a higher audience retention on your videos, which leads to more watch time in general generated by your viewers. So audience retention is basically how long in a percentage an average viewer watches of your videos. So a good audience retention lies between 50 to 70%. While if it's below, then you might want to consider doing a few changes to your videos. It can be a lot of different changes or a lot of different factors in your video that have an impact on your watch time and audience retention. So today I'm basically going to be showing a thing that gives you the ability to see what things in your videos went good and what things went bad when it comes to your audience retention, so you can make changes to your videos and in the lead of that, hopefully, I'm saying hopefully, get more watch time on your videos. So when you have opened up YouTube Studio, you're gonna go over to the Analytics tab and then the engagement section. Now down here you should see key moments for audience retention. Now you have probably seen this page or this feature on YouTube before, and you maybe just thought like, wow, that's a pretty cool feature actually. And yes, it indeed is a very cool feature, I agree, but do you know how you can actually use this to your advantage to get more audience retention, or get a higher audience retention and more watch time on your channel? Well, let me show you exactly how to do this in depth. So firstly, there are 4 different sections that this is divided in: intro, continuous segments, spikes, and dips. So firstly, intro is basically how many people in an average that watch your whole intro or the first 30 seconds of your video. And it is very important that you have a pretty high percentage on this, because you want as many people as possible to get hooked and just want to watch the whole video from the beginning, because otherwise people will leave in the beginning specifically. So I'm not very good at this. I'm trying to get better at my intros, but yeah. Now the continuous segments, I'm just going to show you guys real quick what this is, since I don't have one. I can see this displayed through all my videos here in general. So in this video I have a continuous segment, and basically what this is, it is, as we can see here, a part or a section or a segment of your video where people where your audience retention didn't decrease. So basically from here we can see, and this video specifically, it started on 20% and ended on 20%, which is actually pretty cool that no one left the video from the start 8:21 to the end. That's actually pretty cool. Now the spikes is some parts of the video where people where more people went back or skipped ahead to watch. And the dips is basically some dips in your audience retention where people either left the video or skipped ahead in the video. As we can see here also, down here people left, and here people also started to leave. Now we got done with what they actually are. Let's take a dive on how you can use this data to gain more audience retention and more watch time on your channel, as this video is about. So the intro, you want to look at the top performing intro. For me, it is this video over here. It has a 61% audience retention on the intro on average, and that is honestly not very good, because you've put in so much work into an intro, and 4 out of 10 people leave straight after, or even before the intro even has started. That isn't great, but I mean, it still is okay, and you want people to watch this long or longer on most of your videos on your intro. So make sure that one thing that you can do here is to look at your intro, speed through your whole intro, you can preview it here also, and see what did you do differently, or what did you specifically do here in this intro to get the viewer hooked. So for example, if I watch through this whole intro on this video that performed the best with the intro, then I maybe can have as a conclusion that, let's say I said I did this and that differently, and that made so more people watched the intro. Then what you can do is make that change to your videos, that whatever you did in this video, you make in your next upcoming videos, and see how they will perform when we talk about the intro. Now, it's not 100% guarantee that this will work, obviously, but because it depends from video to video. But I think this is pretty good to get an understanding of what types of intros work on your channel, and what types of intros and introductions that don't work for your audience retention. So continuous segments, I'm gonna go over to the video that I was in again and show you guys how we can use this to gain more watch time again. So here at this part of the video, if you see that you have a continuous segment in a specific video, then what I want you to do is basically look at the preview of your video, and look at the time where you had a continuous segment, and see what did you do to make the viewer not get bored. And see, let's say that at this time where at this video it is a continuous segment, let's say I just spoke very, very clearly. I didn't say etc. Yeah, what I mean, I didn't do this hums, pauses and such. Then you can take that with you and say, hey, I'm gonna try to not do this or do this in order to make people watch as long as possible. And now it's actually very important that you see what you did good to make people watch. Now, if you go over to spikes, I told you what it is before, and the top performing video is this one, where it has 2 spikes, where it goes from firstly 18% of audience retention where people watched, to a stunning 35%, and then from a 44% to a 53%. Now, the spike analytics, you can actually use this to see what types of, or what parts of your videos that your viewers find the most interesting and want to watch the most. And you can use this in order to get more watch time by basically looking at what did the viewers want to actually see in the video. And if you find out that, hey, people wanted to see this thing, let's say, in this example, you wanted to see this thing over here the most, then you can take that to you and say that, hey, in my next video I will get more straighter to the point, so you don't get this huge dip. That so essentially that it starts off good, and people get hooked from the beginning, not that they just leave like this and then skip ahead in the video to the part that they actually want to, because you want to think about your viewer experience, not about the video length, or you get what I mean. You want the viewer to get as good a video experience as possible. So you use the spikes to basically determine what parts of your videos that you should try to get out on the video as faster and more first, because that's pretty important to get the viewer entertained and get what they actually want from the video as early as possible. so they don't have a need to skip in the video or simply get lose of interest in your video and leave the video, which is never good for your audience retention and watch time. So that explains spikes, I think, at least. So let's start over the dips now. Dips is something that you really need to look carefully in, just like you need to look into your continuous segments and intro specifically. The spikes is something that isn't too important, I gotta be totally honest with you, I'm just saying this right now. But dips, okay, so here you want to look at what parts of your videos here that are displayed on dips, what parts of them that actually made people watch or leave the video or skip ahead in the video. Because this basically shows what mistakes that you made in your video that affected the audience retention in a bad way. So here in this video, if I watch this whole segment where people left or skipped ahead in the video, and then I maybe can say that I was that I was basically quiet this whole time and people got bored because I didn't say a word, then I can take that with me and say, hey, I'm not gonna have these quiet parts of the video because people don't find them entertaining. They want to hear me talk all the time, so they constantly get info. But that's just an example. There can be so many stuff, for example, that the music is too high, or that you are unclear, you're talking too much, or I don't know. There are so many things that you can determine from dips and see and make changes to your videos from your mistakes on your videos. So essentially, dips, you want to look at what made people leave or skip ahead into your video at the timeline like you see over here, and determine what were the actual causes for that made them leave or skip ahead in the video. As I said, if you know what makes people skip ahead in your video, which does have a big effect on your audience retention, then you can just simply put, don't do those mistakes in your next upcoming videos or in future videos. Because then you know that, hey, if I do this, let's say have blast ear rape music, then people will skip ahead in the video, which I don't want, obviously. Now, I do want to mention that YouTube has a little info card over here at the short guide where you can basically look ahead and dive into some stuff that I maybe didn't mention and see, because they just bring up some basics here where they talk about what is good and what is bad indications when it comes to audience retention here at the audience retention reports. So you maybe want to read through these things that YouTube themselves have written down. Now guys, if you watched all the way over here and you feel like, how will this actually affect my audience retention? Not like it's just a couple easy, simple tweaks that you do to your videos. This won't even affect my watch time, right? Well, it actually will, because your audience retention and your watch time on your videos is what builds up how much watch time you get on your channel. So if you just do these simple things to get more audience retention on all your videos and the future videos that you will post, then you will earn so much, both in watch time, audience retention, and growth also, because as you maybe know, if you get more audience retention on your videos and watch time, then the YouTube algorithm will basically detect this and promote your video further to more people, and more impressions from more people means more views, more subscribers means more subscribers. More subscribers means more growth, obviously. So it's very important that you do these things. Look at the key moments for audience retention and make these simple changes to your upcoming videos, future videos, in order to get more watch time. Now, I do hope this helped. If it did, leave a like, seriously, hit like right now. That means so much. And subscribe to the channel if you found anything in this video helpful, with the bell notifications on, of course. You can't miss that, because then you will get notified of future uploads from me, which you don't want to miss out on. On the screen right now, there will be a video going through some simple changes that you can do to your videos in order to get more watch time and hopefully get more monetized quicker on YouTube. So make sure to check that video out if you have that extra time. Now if that's it, see you next video. Starts out.